Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yesterday we were doing compound sentences and today I have come with a new topic, new concept, that is complex sentences. Okay, let's understand complex sentences with full concept clarity and we will practice some questions also. But before that, let's come to understand the full concept of a complex sentence. So what is a complex sentence? It contains one independent clause which can stand alone and at least one dependent clause which cannot stand alone, obviously. So one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Okay, so a complex sentence is independent clause plus dependent clause. Let's understand with some examples. I will go home when the class ends. Okay, I will go home when is a conjunction. She cried because she was hurt. Although he was tired, he continued working. So here conjunction is subordinating conjunction, that is although added he was tired, okay, comma, he continued working. She cried because she was hurt. I will go home when the class ends. So one independent clause is linked with one dependent clause. Okay, so complex sentence is independent clause plus dependent clause. Now let's move on to understand that there are various types of dependent clause, such as noun clause, which acts as a noun, okay, which acts as a proper noun, which acts as a proper noun. For example, I know that he is honest. Okay, another type of dependent clause is adjective clause. Okay, adjective clause which describes a noun. Yes, it gives a descriptive information about the noun. For example, the boy who is playing is my brother. So the boy who is playing is my brother. So I'm adding some information. I'm giving a descriptive information about the noun, the boy. Okay. Moving on, another type of dependent clause is adverbial clause, which gives information about time, reason, condition, etc. For example, I will come if you call me. It means I will only come only if you call me. Yes, so I will come if you call me. Okay, so now let's understand that there are various subordinating conjunctions which are used to join one independent clause to a dependent clause, because we have understood that what complex sentences are independent clause plus dependent clause. Now to join two clauses, that is independent and dependent, we need to add some conjunctions, and most importantly there are some common subordinating conjunctions. Okay, so the common subordinating conjunctions are because, although, if, when, while, since, unless, though, before, after. Okay, these words introduce dependent clauses. Now let's understand that there are various important rules how to join both independent and dependent clauses. So rule number 1, dependent clause cannot stand alone. We know that. Now just look here in this sentence. Because I was tired. Because I was tired. This sentence feels incomplete. Because I was tired, then what? Okay, so this is incorrect. Correct is because I was tired, comma, I slept. Okay. Now this is what? This is cause, effect, relationship. Why did I sleep? Because I was tired. Yes. Now there is another rule, that there is a comma rule. There is a comma rule. So dependent clause first, then comma needed. Okay, it means if in a sentence the dependent clause is added in the beginning with a subordinating conjunction, then there is a need of putting a comma and then we will add the independent clause. Let's look here in the example. Although he is rich. Although is a subordinating conjunction. He is rich. So this is a dependent clause. Although he is rich, dependent clause. So we are putting a comma here and then he is unhappy. That is a independent clause. So whenever we add a dependent clause at the beginning of the sentence, okay, using a subordinating conjunction, it is very important to put a comma in the sentence. Okay. Now, independent clause first, then there is no need of comma. When independent clause is added in the first part of the sentence, then there is no need of comma to be added in the sentence. Okay. Now, for example, he is unhappy. This is an independent clause added at the beginning of the sentence. Although he is rich. Yes, although he is rich. So, although he is rich, this part is dependent clause. Now, we can see that independent clause is added at the beginning. Yes, and dependent clause is at the end. So, now, independent clause is since added at the beginning, there is no need of comma. Rule number 3, avoid sentence fragments. Okay, avoid sentence fragments. When I reached the station. When I reached the station, comma, the train had left. So this is incorrect because this is just a fragment, a part of the sentence. Okay, that is not correct. When I reached the station, comma, the train had left. Okay, now quickly I am giving you some exam tricks that identify the conjunction in the sentence. Locate the dependent clause. Which part is the dependent clause? It is very important to locate it in the sentence. Check the sentence completeness. That is the sentence complete or not? Is the sentence giving us a complete thought, a complete meaning? Okay, can the sentence stand alone? We have to identify it. Okay, and we have to see the punctuation, that is there comma or not. Okay, if the sentence begins with a dependent clause, there is a need of a comma. If the sentence begins with an independent clause, there is no need of a comma. So these are very quick exam tricks I have given you. Okay, now let's move on to some practice session. Okay, to some practice session. First is identify the complex sentence. Identify the complex sentence. I came and I saw. I came, comma, I saw, I conquered. I came because you called me. I came, comma, I saw. So they are asking what? Complex sentence. So what is a complex sentence? One dependent clause and one independent clause. Yes, joined by what? Joined by a conjunction. I came because you called me. Yes, answer is because you called me is the dependent clause. This part is a dependent clause. Yes, and now in the sentence, since I came is the independent clause added at the beginning of the sentence, so there is no comma here you can find in the sentence. Okay. Question number 2, choose the correct option. Although he was tired, although he was tired, he worked. He tired was, although he worked. Now, can you find that in these options? In these options, we can find that C is the correct option using conjunction although he was tired, comma, he worked. Now, I told you that if the sentence begins with a dependent clause, then we have to put a comma here. Although he was tired, he worked. Although he was tired is incomplete. He was tired, although is a wrong sentence, incorrect in grammatically. He tired was although he worked. This is also grammatically wrong. So answer is C, although he was tired, he worked. Moving on with the next question, proper structure with dependent plus independent clause. Answer is C for question number 2. Question number 3, what they are asking? Identify the dependent clause. Identify the dependent clause. I will help you if you ask me. If you ask me is the dependent clause. I will help you is the independent clause here. If you ask me is the dependent clause. So I will help you if you ask me. Which part is dependent clause? If you ask me. Yes, a condition is there. So answer is B, if you ask me, cannot stand alone. Yes. Okay. Question number 4, choose the correct sentence. Choose the correct sentence. Which is the correct sentence? We have to see. Because she was late. She was late because she missed the bus. She was late because she missed the bus. Which one is correct? She was late because she missed the bus. So B is the correct option. Yes or no? She was late. Why? Why she was late attending the class or whatever you can assume. She was late because she missed the bus. She because was late is wrong grammatically. Because she missed the bus is incomplete. And because she was late is also incomplete. So she was late because she missed the bus. Here we cannot find any comma because she was late is the independent clause connected with the conjunction because with the dependent clause, and since independent clause is at the beginning of the sentence, there is no use of comma here. So answer is B. Okay, the correct sentence is answer is B. Which conjunction is used? Which conjunction is used? She stayed home because she was sick. She stayed home because she was sick. She stayed home because she was sick. Which is the answer? Although, because, if, unless. It is obviously because. It's here only. Okay. So because is what? Because is a cause-effect relationship. Yes, it is a subordinating conjunction. Okay. Identify the clause type. I know that he is honest. I know that he is honest. Adverb clause, adjective clause, noun clause, phrase. I know that he is honest. Okay, so I know he is honest is what? Giving information of what? Which is the answer? Answer is C. Acts as an object of know. Know is the verb. Yes, so it is a what? Noun clause. Okay, choose the correct punctuation. Although he is poor, he is happy. Although he is poor, he is happy. Although he is poor, he is happy. He is poor, although he is happy. Now, correct punctuation. So, I told you all these options we can find in these three options that it is beginning with although. It means it is a dependent clause. So, whenever we begin with a dependent clause, we will always put a comma. Although he is poor, he is happy. So, he is poor, the dependent clause, the independent clause is put with a comma, which is wrong here. So, definitely option number B. Although he is poor, comma, he is happy is the correct sentence. Okay. Answer is C. Acts as object of. Answer is B. Okay. Answer is B. Yes. Okay. Question number 8. Identify the complex sentence. Now, identify the complex sentence means what? Now we are clear with the concept that what is a complex sentence? When one independent clause and one dependent clause is connected. Okay. So now complex sentence they are asking us to identify. Option number 1, she sings and dances. She sings but dances. She sings when she is happy. She sings, she dances. Which is the correct answer? Complex sentences. She sings when she is happy. Okay. Now tell me which is the correct answer? She sings and dances. She sings but dances. She sings when she is happy. She sings, she dances. Asking us the complex sentence. Answer is C obviously. She sings when she is happy. Okay. Now here, although we are using this conjunction when here, subordinating conjunction, but here we are not putting any comma. Why? Because it is an independent clause connected with a dependent clause. When she is happy is a dependent clause. This part she sings is an independent clause. So there is no use of comma. Okay. Okay. Next question. Choose the correct option. If you study hard, you will pass. If you study hard, you will pass. You will pass, comma, if you study hard. Okay. Then option number D, both B and C. If you study hard, you will pass. And you will pass if you study hard. So which is the answer? Answer is D obviously, because see, if you study hard, there is a comma. It means this is a dependent clause. Okay, when we are beginning with if. Okay, I'm giving you a condition. So that is why whenever we begin any sentence with a dependent clause, then always there will be a comma. There will be a punctuation in the sentence. If you study hard, comma, you will pass. Okay, and you will pass if you study hard. Okay, you will pass if you study hard is also correct. Yes. Okay. Next question, find the incorrect sentence. Find the incorrect sentence. They are asking us not to find the correct one, to find the incorrect one. Okay. When I reached, he left. When I reached, he left. He left when I reached, he had left. Which is the correct answer? Answer is B, missing comma after dependent clause. Have you seen? When I reached. So starting with when. Okay? When is a conjunction, subordinating conjunction. When I reached, there has to be a comma here. He left. So this is the incorrect. Otherwise, when I reached, he left is a correct one. Correct sentence. He left when I reached is also a correct sentence because he left is an independent clause. Okay, then the conjunction is there. It means the sentence has begun with an independent clause, so there is no comma in this particular statement. When I reached, comma, he had left. This is also a correct statement because we have began with dependent clause using when, the subordinating conjunction, and that is why there is comma. Only this statement is wrong because it has began with when as subordinating conjunction, the dependent clause, but there is no comma. The question is asking that which is incorrect, which is a wrong statement. So definitely answer is B, missing comma after dependent clause. Yes, so we have practiced 10 questions regarding complex sentences and we have answered all of them and we have understood the various types of dependent clauses, noun clause, adjective clause, adverbial clause. Yes, and we have also learned the subordinating conjunctions and there are more. Okay, so today I have brought you the comma rule also. Yes, dependent clause cannot stand alone and how they are added with some conjunctions. Yes, and then we have to avoid some sentence fragments also. It means we cannot say that the fragment statement, the part of the sentence is correct when it is not a complete thought. Yes, so we have understood the whole concept of complex sentences today. Okay, see you in the next video with another concept with a new topic. Okay, until then keep practicing, keep revising, keep studying hard. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day ahead.